Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering my match against Ghostrunner in GhostDog's David&Goliath Winter Clash. This is the round of 8. I moved on from the round of 16 because unfortunately Legacy had to drop out, and that means that I just automatically move on. For my bans, I decided to go for Cosmic Ghost Rider, Valkyrie and Archangel. Cosmic Ghost Rider and Archangel mainly because I didn't know who he was going to ban, and I didn't want perfect counters for my rank 5 Killmonger. And looking at it, he didn't ban my Killmonger, so that could definitely be a trap placement. And Valkyrie because I don't have one, and I have seen a lot of very good stuff with her, and I don't want him having that. There weren't many defenders in his deck that I didn't think I could deal with, or there are many attackers that I feel like I couldn't draft around. So getting into this first round, I like the look of the draft I've got at the moment. I feel like I have at least a relatively decent counter to everybody that he could place. He starts off with Spider Supreme, which I can understand why he did it. It was a safe call, but I'm not sure if he knew whether I knew how to fight him or not. And I do now know how to fight Spidey Supreme now, so that's not that much of a problem for me. So I use Spider Ham here, mainly because I know I can nuke him down very fast. Spider Supreme doesn't have that big of a health pool, and I know that I can just get this down really quickly. Just need to play around the miss, and I should be fine. So throw a medium there, just bait it out. And then from now, literally just medium. Bait special ones. You can see there, that's already done a lot of damage. I could have swore there I threw another medium. I got lucky that he didn't punish that, but that felt like dropped inputs at the time. So, bait out the miss again. I did it there as well. I swiped across twice, and it just didn't trigger one of them. But he's almost down. Either one more special or a few more combos and he's done. Yeah, that was 54,000 points. With Nick Fury versus Thing, that's definitely not happening, so I've taken this first one. I'm just looking through my draft to see who else could go where. I wasn't quite sure who he was going to place. If I were to take a guess, I would have said probably Hulkling, because I don't really have a counter to him. Like, my best counter is probably Hercules. But yeah, won that one. And to my surprise here, he actually placed a Spot. So I wasn't 100% sure on whether to go all in this round or go for the win. So I placed first. So I threw Korg down just to save my Killmonger for the last round, give him as little options as possible, and he placed a Spot to my surprise. So I used Hyperion for this, and I think he uses his Domino for Korg. I can't quite remember. Come on. Yeah, he uses Domino for Korg. So I know I can do this fight because the only really dangerous thing about Spot is the untouchable, and you just have to watch the spots. Soon, if you can understand how he works, and like when he gets to 5 and you hit into him, he'll go untouchable, then there's not much to worry about. So just throw a special one there, get some incinerates going. Now he's got 6 spots at the moment, so I hit in and then move back and wait it out. and then repeat the cycle. This is going very quickly at the moment, but that will start to slow down. So we're about 45 seconds in, and he's at 20%. And this last 20% takes so long to get down. And I'm not sure if it's just that I got unlucky, or that I wasn't going for any Furies. But yeah, bait out another special one there. That animation throws me off so much sometimes. It's very quirky, but when you know how to evade the special attacks, it's not that big of a deal. Same again, it just takes a long time. Yeah, he was for the last like 30-40 seconds there, he was stuck between 19 and 0%. But yeah, I know he's not gonna, or by this point, I know that he isn't gonna get out of the fight fast enough. So I've taken this first one. I went to stick with the same bans here, and no surprise, he bans Korg this time instead. Okay, on to round 2. I'm placing first, so I place Havoc here, not realising that he had a Gallon, which is a pretty decent counter to that. I didn't really think that through at the time, but I still think it was worth going for. He places Domino, I go for Ghost. Yeah, this is a sketchy matchup. It can go either way. It's like sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you get really unlucky. So there's a 15% chance for your phase to fail, and I've had that happen to me at least 4 times in a row when throwing a special 2 in this fight before. It can be really irritating, but the best part about Ghost for Domino is that you can build up power through phase really fast if it does connect because of the double mediums. Again, like my precision there isn't triggering at all. Got a little bit greedy there, I went for 2 Furies instead of just 1, and this special 2 is going to do a hell of a lot of damage. And this is going very well so far. The only damage I've really taken is crit fail. And as you can see there, the Dex crit failed, and that means that the special 1 didn't kill. But a couple more hits and she's down. 45 seconds. If the crit fail's what cost me this, I would have been a bit annoyed, but my Havoc manages to stall for long enough, so I've got this one. So I was originally planning on throwing this one because he has a torch, I have 2 mystics, and he didn't really have a good counter for either of them if I were to get rid of his torch. So I threw Rintra down here, knowing that he'd probably use Torch, because he needs to win this one, and then I can trap him with Doom afterwards. And I go for Gallon against the Spider Supreme. Now, the only reason I know this is a good matchup is because I was doing some friendlies with Bitter Steel, and he wanted to test out some matchups with his Spidey Supreme on attack, and I placed my Gallon for him, and he said that was a pretty bad matchup because of all the buffs that Spidey Supreme puts on Gallon, and because of that I thought this would be a really good matchup in reverse. So I can just build up my planetary mass really quickly. Like I've got 11 of those Spider Seal buffs. That is an extra 110 of those charges, and I've got 16 now. 160 extra planetary mass. So I'll go for a heavy attack here, wait out the invisibility. I could have swore that the cooldown just kind of... yeah, it happened there as well. The cooldown just ended instantly, and I'm not quite sure why. But 41 seconds, 95% health. Even with Torch against Rintra, I think it's a rank 3 Torch versus a rank 4 Rintra. Even then, that's probably not going to go that fast. And by this time, I know I've won. So on to round 3 now. Okay, round 3. I wasn't a massive fan of the draft I had this time, because I don't really have an amazing counter to Nick Fury, and he does have counters to most champs that I have. So what I did here is I placed Toad to try and draw out his Hulkling. What I could have done is place Nick and then drawn out his Hulkling that way, but I wanted to do it the other way around because I know Nick could probably win me at least one round if that was the case, whereas I think he could have played around Toad with other champs. So I used Spot here. This was a 50-50 throw and not throw. I'm not the most comfortable with Spot yet. I mean, I've only recently got him, but I've done a bit with him. Like, I'm not amazing. I'm still new to it, but I get the general gist. Like, what you do here is just build up as many ruptures as possible. What I wanted to do here was throw a special 1 just to make sure that the extra burst off the special 2 finished him off. So I have 30 here. Just gonna make sure my portal block's pretty refreshed for whenever he dashes in at me. I'm trying to stay a little bit further away just because of the weakness debuffs. So just doing some combos here before I enter Untouchable. Just try and get me to a special 2 safely. He hits me into block 5 times, and that is pretty much the fight over. Yep. Honestly, I didn't think that went too bad, but it wasn't enough to keep up with Hulkling vs Toad, so I'm not too annoyed at that. I know I can deal with the rest of the champs he's got. But I don't really do a good job of that. So here I place my Nick Fury, and he places his Absorbing Man. I think he was doing this to try and bait out my Spider Ham. But I used Doom for this instead, because I know that this is doable, and I know that I could do this faster than he could do any of the champs that he has versus Nick Fury. It's not the best matchup, but I know I can do it faster and with 100% health. The only problem is I didn't do a very good job of that. I played this pretty horribly, and when I got out of this I didn't think I'd win it. Start off, get hit by a special one there, perfect. Throw a few hits into mid-air like I do. It wouldn't be a Battlegrounds match from me if I wasn't throwing hits into mid-air. That's like my speciality. So I think what I'm doing here is trying to keep him near Special 3. That's definitely not what it looks like. Take the tail end of a Special 2 there, as you do. Eat the tail end of a Special 1 again. And I kind of panicked here through Special 3. Yeah, as you can see, this is definitely going horrible. But it is all mistakes that I'm making. It's not that it's a bad matchup, it's that I'm just being a moron. So the plan here now is literally just to try and do Special 3s, wait for him to get out of his mode, try and turtle up so that he doesn't throw specials. And yeah, just take it slow as I can afford to, really, because there's only 35 seconds left and I've got 5 weakness debuffs on me. Yeah, there's not really much I can do at this rate. So I think, yeah, my only hope really is literally just a Special 2 and hope it does some damage. And to be fair, I almost get him down. 4% I timed out, but luckily Nick Fury got him. And yeah, that was only remotely terrifying when I got out of that. But I do know that I can probably win this last round now. I think he's placing first as well, which was a massive advantage for me. Because if he placed Nick, then I could just place Spider-Ham. But because he's placed Rintra here, I can just place Kingpin and do this a lot faster with Spider-Ham than he can with Torch. Especially since this is a rank 3 Rintra and my Spider-Ham's rank 4. This is going to be pretty quick. I also have the 5-star Ant-Man relic, which is huge. It's game changing for Spider-Ham because you can pretty much have 100% uptime on taunt, which, when somebody's main source of damage relies on them throwing special attacks, I'd say that's pretty useful. What isn't useful though? Getting hit in the face a few times. But again, it wouldn't be a Battlegrounds match from me if I didn't get hit in the face at least a couple of times. Go for Special 2 here. Nice big damage. Now I wanted to dash back and hold block just to get the evade, another taunt up. Pause 9 poppers. It's a massive burst. Just trying to get him to one more special attack now. And he throws it and he's down. And that is 52,000 points in 52 seconds. And he's not going to beat that at this rate. Well, at this point, when it gets to this low on time, there's no way he can beat that. So I'm up 3-0 at the moment. I need one more win to move on to the semi-finals. So round 4, I kind of like the look of my draft. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. I go for I go for Killmonger here first. I was debating going for Nick Fury, but I thought Killmonger would probably be the best bet just to secure me around. And he goes for Hercules here on defense. I can see why, it's a good stall, probably try to bait out my Rintra or my Doom. But I don't take the bait and go for Kingpin instead. I just thought Kingpin could probably do this faster. That's the only reason. And also, Rintra and Doom will cause problems on defense because he does not have a good counter. So even if I do end up losing a round, I do have backup defenders. I genuinely thought I parried that first hit, but apparently not. Yeah, the plan here is literally just to special 2, special 1, hope that the degen fails the immortality, and leave it at that. And he's going down very, very quickly at the moment. Yeah, when you get combos where 4 hits crit for Kingpin, it's near game over. Go for special 1 here. And unfortunately, it doesn't fail the immortality. Hoping one more special 1 does it. But the degen didn't trigger, unfortunately. So just one more combo after the special 2 and he's down. And he's not out of the fight yet, and because I've got 100%, 15,000 points on health, then I know I've already won this one. I'll be honest, I was not expecting him to come out of that fight with as much health as he did. He played that incredibly well. So onto this next one. He surprisingly places Apocalypse. I can understand why, because that's probably the best stall that he could throw. But I throw my Nick Fury, I think. Yeah, I throw Nick, and I'm going to use Doom for this Apocalypse, because that's the best counter I have there. He uses Kingpin for Nick. I'm honestly not expecting to win this, but I know I have him in round 3 because there's nobody that he can really do Rintra with quickly. And I could still do Nick Fury with Omega Red. Or even More Man with Omega Red. And if he doesn't place either and places Doom, I can use Joe Fixit for that and then place Omega on defense. Because he has 2 bleeders. So it's a win-win really. I've got him in the draft here. So for this one, literally just slow and steady. Just make sure I don't get hit and if I don't finish at 100%, I should be fine. But I wasn't playing to win this round, I was playing to throw it for the next one. Just because I knew, even playing the long game, I had him in the draft. Just the regular Doom Cycle, special 2, and this should finish it off. And to my surprise, he's not actually out of the fight yet, which means that I've won this one, and I'm now progressing on. GG's to Ghostrunner, great guy, great player. So thank you very much for watching, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.